Shawn Ray here for Shawn Ray TV with the legendary bodybuilder and trainer, Chris "The Real Deal" Cormier.
Hello, Shawn. How are you? Nice to see you.
We just came out of the movie Bigger, and I've been asking people kind of like, what did they take away from it? Did you learn something? I mean, you grew up in bodybuilding since you were a teenager. We're at the half-century mark now. What did you take away from that movie?
I couldn't help but kind of think throughout the movie and seeing how he reacted, acted with the other bodybuilders or acted just throughout his life, and that was dead on like he was. He loved to be at the photo shoots. He loved to be really hands-on with, what's going on with the creation of the magazine. He might catch some catchy sentence or whatever he wanted to use in his magazine, and you can't help but think about the times you spent with him ourselves as bodybuilders and coming up, and the times where he'll be like, he's really particular about the body and how it looks and the proportions of the body. Do you have legs? That was like one of the first things they asked me. Do you have legs? And I was like, yeah. So I just took my pants down and showed him my quads and stuff. He was like, all right.
Bob Chick said something interesting. He said he was kind of like Rain Man in terms of the obsession with just the physique. Like he looks at someone and sees the triceps and he wants to see the rest of the body. From this movie, I learned at least that he put the first black bodybuilder on the cover of a magazine, and that was met with some resistance, but nonetheless he stepped out on a limb and put Leroy Colbert out there.
Yes, I kind of like that, kind of raised an eyebrow with me also, because at least I knew that they were at least talking about it, because it was always that thing of, how many times a black was on Muscle and Fitness, or Flex was a little bit different, a little bit more hardcore, but Muscle and Fitness was one that didn't have that many blacks on it, but it was, it was kind of nice to see that part of it. And I knew Leroy was a good friend of his and meant a lot to him. So,
well, it's interesting because throughout their doing this whole bodybuilding thing, they were criticized for being poor, they were criticized for being Jewish, but nonetheless, the winners of his Olympia, you've got a Cuban in Sergio Oliva, you've got an Italian in Franco, you have an Austrian in Arnold Schwarzenegger, an Englishman in Dorian Yates, a Lebanese in Samir Banu, an Englishman in Dorian. So you have all these different flavors of the world, and this is what really the IFBB was. It is.
Yes, it's an international sport for sure, and like you said, we always had something in common. Even if someone like Momo Benazir came up, he didn't speak any English, but we was able to have still a conversation and had something in common. And I found that with most people around the world.
I think that this film tells the story that as big as the world is, it's still a brotherhood when it comes to lifting weights.
Yes, bodybuilding. That's it's one language, and like you say, one brotherhood, and it's I'm so happy that I spent my whole life, involved in something that mean a lot to a lot of people all over the world. So
absolutely. All right. Well, you've got to see the movie Bigger. We just got done seeing it here in Las Vegas. Eric Reuter said it's going to be released shortly worldwide. Check it out. But for right now, we're here at the Mr. Olympia weekend. The Real Deal, Chris Cormier, and I'm Shawn Ray.